of the things to remember is that your role as an applicant isn't complete necessarily after the job interview. There are some things that you can consider to continue the relationship with the employer, to make sure that you stay fresh in their mind. A lot of times there are multiple applicants for a position, and you want to have the opportunity to stand out.
Yeah.
One of the things that you can do.
It's I think you should call. At least you want to stay in touch with the employer. So you may want to call them back, and you want to know if what's going on with the application. Maybe if if the position is still available, or if they would like to maybe they want you to come back for a second interview.
Sure.
We do second interviews, so after the first one. So that could be one of the things that you could do.
Yeah, I think it's very appropriate if you want to communicate your interest to follow up with a thank you note or an email. So hopefully after the interview you've left and you've gotten the business card of the person that you've interviewed with, so you have their contact information, because it's just another way to show that you're interested and really would like to join the company that you've interviewed for a position with.
Yeah. And you have to be ready too. You have to be ready for that phone call. If they call you after the interview and they're like, okay, are you ready to start tomorrow? Well, the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
I'll start tomorrow. So be ready, know your schedule, know the hours that you want to work. And once you have, make sure that your voicemail, when they call you, whatever message you have on the voicemail is appropriate. You don't want them to hear something that's not really professional. So make sure that's you change that. Maybe you change that voicemail message.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a big point. I think to communicate is that you're still making an impression upon the organization until they've offered you that position. You want to make sure that you're communicating the right message about yourself, and to make sure that you've got an appropriate voicemail message, even an appropriate email address. I've seen some email addresses that they sound a little bit fun, but from an employer standpoint, it might raise an eyebrow. So be mindful of that as you're sending out your communications. There's a great opportunity that's going to be coming up at Lowell High on May 1st in the afternoon. I believe it's from 3 to 5.
Yeah, we have a job fair,
Yeah.
so we're inviting all the students to come there.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of employer. I myself will be there, trying to recruit, trying to find new people for my restaurant. I think it's May 1st. That's the day, and then most of my employees are from that job fair. I'll say about 55% of them. We go there every year. All of us, all the employers, we go there every year trying to recruit, trying to staff our restaurants, and you're welcome to come.
Yeah. The job fair is a great opportunity to start to develop a relationship with an employer, and there's a saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So when you come to the job fair, come prepared. Better to overdress than underdress. Dress professionally doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come in a suit, but show that you felt that this was important enough to you to make an effort to present yourself professionally, that you're prepared, that you're serious. And that's sort of the messaging that dressing professionally and acting responsibly as you go through and you visit the employers, because that will resonate. And I understand that at these job fairs there's a whole lot of students that are there, and there'll be a lot of friends, and it's an opportunity to kind of socialize a little bit, but remember why you're there, and you're there because you want to make a good impression with an employer so that you can secure a job. And so you might not think that these things are being noticed, that's going around, and if you're standing in line behind somebody, but trust me, they are. So cell phones and appropriate behavior is really important as you go through. And you have an opportunity for an employer to put a name and the face together. And so reaching out and shaking hands.
I always remember, the one that come to me and the one that impressed me are the one that they usually, they're self-confident. They come to me and say, you know what, I want to work for you. And I'm like, wow, you want to work for me? And those are the ones that I usually remember. They're like, okay, you know, and then after they leave the information with me, they will call me and they say, you know what, Mel, do you remember me from the job fair? My name is so and so. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember you. And that's how that's how you start a relationship with an employer. You know, that's how. And I have a lot of them. Some good kids who came to me and say, you know what, I want to work for you. And it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity because it's just another way for you to get yourself physically in front of someone, and it's a lot easier sometimes because you can put a name and the face together other than just an online application or a resume. And you know, even if you come through the job fair and perhaps this year you don't end up with employment, it doesn't mean that you know you haven't started a relationship with that particular employer, and that you know if you happen to watch their website, you know 6 months from now and a position becomes available, that you could pick up the phone and say, Mel, do you remember me? Or Charlene, do you remember me from the job fair? I'm still very interested in joining you, and you know I saw this opportunity on your website. So look at it as a way to make connections, other than just a, you know for one particular job. It could be for other opportunities in the future as well.